Este microvideo es el quinto de una serie de extractos del web seminar mencionado en el título. Su conductor es Donald Saul, autoridad mundial en ejecución de la estrategia, profesor de la MIT. Ver su reseña en los videos previos de esta serie.
So I would argue, or Charlie and I would argue, that a better way to think about this is how can we embed our goals in frequent discussions that matter? So just some quick examples. I won't go through this in gory detail, but coaching and feedback. So how can we structure more frequent coaching and feedback sessions with our team around, here's your objectives, here's how you're doing, what's not working so well, what's working well, what are you going to try to adjust it? You can have very concrete, substantive discussions linked to their goals, linked to the strategy, if you use the goals to kind of structure those feedback discussions. Updating the team. So, you go back to your team after you have had a meeting with the C-suite, and you frame that around, here's our goals, here are our objectives, here's the company's goals, here's the objectives, here's what we heard, here's how it fits together. Okay, so you use it as a framework for those. Meeting with other teams, as we talked about. Somebody comes into IT and makes a request, and they say, look, here, let me just frame this by saying, here are our objectives for the quarter and our key results. And here's why I'm struggling to see how this fits in. Okay, so the key thing again here is that goals that are only thought about twice a year are irrelevant, no matter how theoretically beautiful they are. You have to be thinking, the really important thing is to be thinking about how you're embedding them in ongoing discussions, one of which can be resetting the goals more frequently. So how do they benefit for execution? You're providing frequent, more structured feedback, which we all know helps performance. A ton of empirical evidence on that. Two, for alignment, it's super helpful because it's constantly reinforcing for folks what matters and why. Because it's very easy for people throughout the course of the year as new things arise and they get overwhelmed by the urgent, and it crowds out the important. And so, kind of organizing discussions or structuring, spend a little bit of time on discussions anchored in the goals is a mechanism to remind people what matters. They also provide a framework for subsequent choices so that those choices are also aligned with the strategy. Agility, obviously, the more often you talk about these goals, the more often you have to kind of review them, learn, and adjust. And then if you're talking about these more frequently, to the extent different parts of the organization need to coordinate with each other.
En toda organización se hace evidente la importancia de la comunicación para un buen desempeño. Sin embargo, no siempre resulta claro que el eje de la comunicación organizacional son las metas. Aún conversar sobre aspectos personales, afectivos y aparentemente desligados de las metas apoya indirectamente al cumplimiento de las mismas, gracias a que fomenta la integración. Las conversaciones que apoyan directamente al cumplimiento de las metas son aquellas relativas a la definición, difusión y evaluación de las mismas, así como a las respectivas acciones preventivas y correctivas.
Gracias por su atención. Esperamos que visiten nuestras redes y página web para encontrar otros recursos que puedan serles de utilidad.